Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. We're so excited you're here because this is the start of an unforgettable European adventure. Before we set sail, we're spending a few days exploring one of the world's most historic cities, Rome, Italy. From walking through the Colosseum and visiting the Vatican to tossing a coin in the Trevi Fountain and enjoying authentic Italian food, we'll be sharing all the incredible sights and experiences along the way. Then it's time to board Royal Caribbean's Odyssey of the Seas for an amazing Greek Isles cruise. We'll be visiting the breathtaking islands of Santorini and Mykonos, exploring the ancient city of Ephesus in Turkey, and wrapping up our adventure in beautiful Naples, Italy. So if you love cruising, travel tips, amazing destinations, and unforgettable experiences, be sure to hit that subscribe button and let's get this adventure started. Alright, good morning from the port of Kusadasi. This is in Turkey. We are docked this morning and going to head out on an excursion. We're going to be visiting several different sites here in Turkey. So it's a little bit of a longer excursion. So we're going to see all the different things that we get to go visit, but we're excited. Looks like a beautiful day. It is going to be kind of hot, so we're prepared for that, but it's looking like a beautiful morning.
He's the one who built the Turkish Republic from the ashes of the Ottoman Empire. And Ottoman Empire,
our excursion is called the Best of Ephesus, and we're going to be heading to various different places. So I think the first part is a little bit of a drive. So the tour guide is just kind of telling us a little bit about the history and everything of Turkey and kind of where we are in the port. So we're just going to go along for the ride to start.
To become beauty pageants, whatever they want.
Okay, so we are here in the ancient city of Ephesus. We're gonna be able to see the what's believed to be the house of Virgin Mary and what it was remaining of the Basilica of St. John and Temple of Artemis. So we're gonna check that out here. Okay, so it's a little hard to see from here, but kind of straight this way in between the two trees over there, there's a little opening, and that is the remaining pillar of the Temple of Artemis, which used to be, one of the 7 wonders of the world. That's all that's remaining of it, but that's where they used to come to worship the goddess Artemis. Alright, so next up we are visiting what's believed to be the house of Virgin Mary, and where she came after Jesus died. So we're going to be seeing that here in just a minute. Okay, so you can't take photos or videos inside the house of the Virgin Mary, but they do have a photo kind of on the outside of what it looks like here. Our guide pointed out that this kind of like red line that goes along here, and then it kind of goes up. You can kind of follow it along. So this is actually what was remaining of the house when it was first discovered, and then they kind of rebuilt using the leftover rocks and stones and stuff from it. But they kind of drew that line for where where the original structure was left when it was discovered. So you can also come over here and light a candle.
Come on this side, buddy. Come over here with me. There's more room over here. Come to the end over here.
After you exit the house, and you can actually come and fill up a little bottle with what's considered the holy water. Our guide did provide us with a little kind of ceramic jug for it, but she said that it kind of leaks, so she recommended just using a regular plastic water bottle. Here, wait, let me see that. I think you push it down, honey. Oh, okay.
Good. And let go.
Okay. Here, 1 second. Okay, there you go. You push it down, but it kind of leaks out a little bit. Yeah, surprised us.
Not the one to drink out of. That's your holy water? Yes.
There you go. Okay, so now we have moved into ancient Ephesus, and we're going to tour around kind of the ancient ruins here. So they talked about some of the stray dogs and wild dogs and cats and stuff, and the public feeds them and vaccinates them and everything. They just live outside, so even though they're strays, they're still taken care of. Henley was very concerned about that. She's our animal lover, and I mean, of course, we all love animals, but she's especially always thinking about the well-being of animals, and she was very concerned, but she was relieved to hear that from the guide. So there's a smaller hill, not this big one, but the one right over here, just beyond the pillars, kind of the smaller one. Our guide said that top of that hill is where the Apostle Paul's prison was. So these mosaics here are from 2nd century AD. The openings right here were from storefronts, and actually what's underneath kind of those awning coverings right now, I guess, was their houses, and these were the storefronts. But yeah, these mosaics are from 2nd century AD. Pretty incredible. Okay, so this gateway, our guide told us, is the oldest structure in Ephesus. It dates back to 3rd or 4th century BC. So this is the oldest thing that's here. It was still standing for a long time, but then it had to be rebuilt because it did fall down with a lot of the earthquakes and stuff. But it was then rebuilt. But all with the original pieces and stuff, just kind of put back together. Okay, and just off in the distance there, in the kind of grassy area, is the remains of the first church that was ever named after Mary, Mother of Jesus. So what they told us is that they don't name a church after someone if they didn't live in that area. So that's why they're confident that she lived here. And that was the first one that was there that was named after her. So not much of it left, obviously, but still pretty cool to see. So I think this concludes our portion of the ancient Ephesus. And then I know we're supposed to get lunch at some point and see maybe some downtown areas. So we'll see where we go next. Alright, so we are headed to lunch at a hotel, and there's going to be like a buffet, so kind of show you what that's like. But did want to point out that it's like about 2:15, so keep in mind lunch is a little bit later on this tour. The sequence can also vary sometimes too, so it might be different on different ships, sailings, whatever. But for us, it's a little bit later, but we did have some snacks packed for the kids that they were able to eat kind of in between on the bus, between different stops. So we're going to check it out.
All right, so we're going to take you on a tour of the restaurant at this hotel. One of the cool things about this tour is that you get to go visit the sites, and then they take you for a buffet lunch at this hotel. Now it's Turkish food, so they've got all kinds of your normal Mediterranean fare to eat. Some of it I have no idea what it is, but I'm sure it all tastes great. We got cool thing for the kids is that they have a whole place just for pasta and spaghetti sauce, because I know not everybody's going to like the food here. Now we have the dessert section with a lot of things I don't recognize, but that look super good. And then over here we have a whole section of just fruit available for you to eat. One of our friends tried that, wasn't really sure what that was, but she thought it was going to be a green apple.
Ladies and gentlemen, why don't you come closer to her? Come around, come closer. Watch Jasmine weaving a rug. Feel free to take pictures, videos. If anything doesn't make sense, please just ask. But unfortunately now this is a dying art. Less and less people make these rugs. That's why we set up these weaving courses. Not far from Ephesus. This is where they practice, this is where they learn. And once they qualify, we give them a loom and the material, they make them in their house. It's a cottage industry in our country. We don't make them in our house. So we got about 3,000 ladies weaving a rug for us, all different size, shape, and color. Jasmine is one of them. She's very good. She's very talented. She's been making rug more than 20 years. But I see lots of young people here. You cannot go to one of these schools because you have to be minimum age of 16. Otherwise, you have to be in a full-time education. And these schools are regulated by Ministry of Education because any schools here have to be registered for them. But middle ages, you can come and learn. I've got a small photo actually in the back. You can see their classroom. Instead of having a desk, they've got one of these loom inside. Now, of course, it takes 6 months for basic training, and then they will have the loom inside their house. Now, Aisha, behind us, she's going to show us. I've got the slick process there. all come around. It's already dead, have to be dead for our purpose. Now I've got pictures here. I will explain the last part of the silkworm. Just literally cut one. That's what it looks like inside. That's a very small size, the silkworm. You see, that's the bark. That's the silkworm. Now, if you look at the back wall, you'll see the lifespan of a silkworm. Silkworms eat the fresh mulberry leaves, nothing else. They became caterpillar. Few inches long caterpillar. Those caterpillar, I mean, you know about caterpillars. They leave this saliva through their mouth. That saliva is a fiber protein covered with a gum. What's happening? They start locking themselves in. Why? For protection. So they don't get eaten by the live, other animals, like birds, insects. So once they complete the shell, they leave a liquid acid, break through the shell, became a butterfly. Now, the female ones will lay in the eggs, so we have to catch these before they break through the shell. If the shell is broken, it's no good. We need the shell as a whole. So what we do, we keep them under the sun, close to them, that's where the bug dies instantly. Don't feel bad. Now this is the farming ones, like a chicken farm. Imagine we've got hundreds of these plates, lay the fresh mulberry leaves and the worm on it. But afterwards, keeping them under the sun close through, where the insect die like this, almost like pink, otherwise this color. Boil them in hot water, like boiling a pasta. Nothing sophisticated, nothing. Then we use one of these high-tech tools made by Apple. Have you seen this in Apple Store? No, of course not. Such a simple device. Yakala bakalım. Alright, now she's gonna catch these. Now look at it here. You see, once they get boiled, they will release the shell really easily. Now, individually, they're fine and fragile. So, in order to have a single round, we need to twist them. Twisting is where they gain the strength. Now, they're going to go tiny little hole here. This is where they get twisted. The same principle engineers use these days when they build the bridges. They never use a single one. They always use the twisted one. You will see what's happening. Handmade drugs. What happened? Aging thing is a good thing for them. You see, we lay them under the sun. More you walk on them, tighter they get. So you see, that's what's the Turkish double ladder. So you get them stronger and stronger. We buy these drugs. I see lots of young people here for our next generation, like investment pieces, because aging thing is a good thing for them. So they will end up owning something beautiful, art that you can use on the floor, not only on the wall. Let's hammer them down. That's going to allow us to do more knots. And that's the moment we know that if she's angry with her husband or not. look at the back of the rack, we count the number of nuts. Multiply with the size, so we can see how much workmanship goes into these rocks. So Alexa here, yes, she's behind me, yes. She said she's very good in math, okay? She's gonna help us, okay? So, yeah, he's gonna, now that rack here has 80 nuts per square inch, 80. That one here, that's the Royal Hurricane with the 320 nuts, the large rack here, the one with the black. So she's gonna divide 320 by 80. How many times? You don't know. Okay. 8 times 4.
8 times 4,
32.
32.
Yes! Okay, 30. That's gonna cost you 4 times. So whatever this rack costs, it's gonna cost you 4 times more. Now we have the silk one here, 645 nuts per square.
Oh.
So between these, so that will be hundreds of different rocks. Rock maybe the 100, 200. What is this, a bad rock? Absolutely not. They will all last hundreds of years. Just a matter of this. Some people like this rock, some people like this one, some people like this one.
Just gotta find a way to pick.
Yeah, I want to try it.
It's alright.
Here. Hold on. Tastes like those like fruit slices.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like you
Oh, like orange slice?
like an orange slice. That's what it tastes like.
It all comes up in your teeth like orange slice?
Yep.
Nice.
Here, can you hold that one?
Walmart? Is that even how you spell Walmart?
No,
No, that's what makes it funny.
but
No copyright infringement. Yeah.
right here, right on the sign, right here, Bray.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
Where did you say to go?
oh, this way. All right, we are finished up in Turkey, and we're gonna head back to the ship. We made a few purchases. I actually ended up buying a small Turkish rug, one of the silk ones, which is really cool. It actually changes colors because of the kind of the weave on the silk. So we're gonna go head back on the ship. All right, so we are back on board. Had a great day in Ephesus. It was definitely a long day, but we had lots of breaks. It was nice to be able to get back on the bus and, you know, cool off a little bit. I think our tour guide was excellent. She really did a great job of giving us, you know, various breaks throughout the day where we were, you know, walking and doing stuff, and then we would get back on the bus and drive a little more. So we got to kind of cool off in between. She made sure we had time to use the bathroom whenever people needed to. I would say the longest part was the time when we were in ancient Ephesus. So that was definitely the longest and the hottest because there's really not much shade there. and that was about an hour, walking through the kind of the ancient ruins there. But overall, really was great. At the end, I think the kids really enjoyed the carpet demonstration. They liked all of it, but the people there were very entertaining and welcoming, just great hospitality and stuff, which was really cool. So the kids really enjoyed that. I did purchase a rug, so we'll see. I got a small one to stick within my budget, but they were able to add hooks on the back of it, and so that it could be hung or used on the floor. And they will actually ship the rug to you back in the U.S. for free. So it's tax-free and the shipping is free. The local government of Turkey pays for that because since it's kind of like a dying art, they want to preserve it. So they actually will pay for that, which is kind of neat. So we'll see, but I'm excited for that. Definitely felt like we wouldn't maybe be back here again. Who knows when we would be able to come back again, and that's a really unique souvenir, something that we would have in our house and be able to pass it down for generations, because they last like a long time. So I think it was well worth the investment. So they said we'll get it in about 6 to 8 weeks and go from there. So I'll pop in a picture of the one that we got. It was actually one of the ones it was the very first silk rug that they showed, but that was obviously a large one. So I got a much smaller version of that one, but it kind of matches my home decor, so I really liked that. But excited to be able to see that in our home. But yeah, we're gonna head to dinner here in just a little bit. But I thought it was really unique. We learned about some of the different traditions in Turkey. One of them in particular was when they sometimes do like arranged marriages. One of the things that they do is our guide was telling us this, that the man who's wanting to marry the woman, when they meet each other's families, the woman makes coffee. It's traditional Turkish coffee, and she makes coffee for the potential future husband, and so then the potential future husband has to ask permission of the woman's dad to marry her. And then even though it's kind of an arranged marriage, the woman then kind of gets to decide if she wants to marry the person or if she doesn't, kind of based on the vibe that she gets or whatever from the family. And so if she wants to marry the man, then she puts sugar in the coffee. And if she doesn't want to marry the man, then she puts salt in the coffee. And so then when they give the coffee to the man that she's potentially going to marry, and then when he drinks it, based on the face that he makes, then her dad will then basically agree or not agree to the marriage. So I thought that was kind of interesting, and definitely something different than what we have in the U.S. So I think it's really interesting to learn about those different cultural traditions. So kind of unique. So anyway, I won't blab too much, but I just thought that was something unique, and we just heard lots of different stories like that throughout the day. So I was really impressed by our guide. She was really wonderful and had a lot of knowledge to share. So she made it engaging for the kids as well. Our kids were really the only kids on this tour, so I think she did a really great job with them. So, but anyway, just wanted to pass that along. So we will see you at dinner here in just a little bit. Alexa's trying a shrimp for the first time.
Oh yeah, where's my shrimp? Come on, shrimpy.
It's not as bad as I thought.
Now it's on video, you saying that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'll put it in the sauce.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, now we gotta watch Hudson do it. Yep.
Now you're gonna have to be ordering shrimp.
You can just bite it off. You don't have to.
It doesn't really taste like anything.
That's fine. Yeah, you don't eat that part.
take a big
You can
bite.
tell if you want.
Oh, I don't like the sauce.
Try it in
Sausage,
the-
ketchup, and horseradish.
Oh.
You did get two. Oh, he had extra.
He told Henley they were buy one, get one free.
What do you think, Hudson?
Did you try the sauce?
It's like ketchup.
It's like a
It's
spicy
weird.
ketchup. Try it
Do you
in the
not like
sauce.
it?
I don't really know.
Well, try it in the sauce.
It doesn't really have flavor. Yeah. I might need that. Oh, that's better.
Yeah, it's better with the
You like it?
seasoning.
I don't like the sauce. Sausages I don't like ketchup.
I got a Greek salad. Like
I've actually tried
shrimp
ketchup.
and
Carpaccio.
carpaccio.
Preposterous.
Huh?
Preposterous.
Alright, I got chicken piccata.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hudson and Braden got grilled chicken, as did Alexa. And we got the salmon. Melissa got chicken piccata. My mom and Mike both got prime rib, and my dad got the lamb curry.
Oh, that sausage is good. The sauce is
All looks good.
Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and follow along for more Carter Family Travels.